Have you ever really thought about what happens when a body is cremated? I mean, we usually see it as an ending, right? The final chapter. But what if it's not an ending at all? What if it's actually a profound lesson? A very real scientific process that reveals an ancient truth about who, or maybe what, we really are. Today, we're going to look at the idea of the self through the incredible lens of fire.
And that brings us right to this massive question. When a body is gone, what is truly lost? It's a question that's going to sit at the heart of everything we talk about today. And trust me, the answer might be totally different from what you're thinking.
So let's begin our journey inside the cremation chamber. Yeah, I know, but try to see this place not as an end, but as a site of incredible transformation. This is where a great separation of elements is about to begin.
And what a transformation it is! A modern crematorium gets up to around 1,000 degrees Celsius. That is unbelievably hot. This intense heat isn't just destructive, it's the catalyst. It's the force that speeds up a process of return that is absolutely fundamental to nature itself.
This brings us to the core idea of our whole exploration today. From this perspective, the body isn't some single permanent thing we call me. Not at all. It's more like a temporary arrangement, a meeting point for four fundamental elements that we've simply, well, borrowed from the universe.
So what are these four elements? Let's break them down. And try not to think of them as mystical or magical. Think of them as basically scientific categories for the physical stuff, the building blocks that make up our bodies.
First up, we have Tejo Dhatu, the fire element. This is all the heat and energy in your body. It's your metabolism, your body warmth, the calories you burn. You can think of it as your internal battery, the very energy that fuels every single thought and every single action.
Next is Apo Dhatu, the water element. This one's pretty straightforward. It's everything liquid and fluid. You know, our bodies are something like 60% water. It's in our blood, our cells. This element is literally the stuff that holds us together.
Then we've got Vaya Dhatu, the air element. Now this is more than just the air in our lungs. It's the principle of motion itself. It's the expansion and contraction of your chest, the pressure moving blood through your veins. It's like the wind inside the machine.
And finally, there's Patavi Dhatu, the earth element. This is everything solid and firm that gives us structure. We're talking bones, muscles, skin, hair, all the minerals and tissues that create our physical form.
Okay, so we've got these four borrowed elements: fire, water, air, and earth. Now let's go back to that chamber and see exactly how that intense heat orchestrates their great separation, returning each piece back to where it came from. Inside that chamber, the whole process unfolds in this really clear, natural sequence. As you can see, the fire just returns to heat, the water becomes humidity, the air joins the wind, and the earth, well, that's all that's left behind. Let's look a little closer at how this actually happens.
So first, the body's inner fire, its Tejo Dhatu, is just overwhelmed and consumed by the chamber's flames. It merges back into the total heat of the universe. At the exact same time, all the body's fluids, the Apo Dhatu, boil, turn into steam and just disperse, becoming part of the humidity in the air.
Then any trapped air, the Vayo Dhatu, it expands with the heat and escapes. The motion that was once our breath is now just gas, simply following the laws of physics. And after all of that, what's left? Only the solid stuff, the Patavi Dhatu. Just brittle fragments of bone and ash are all that remain of that physical structure.
After a couple of hours, the fire dies down, and there's no person in there anymore. There are only elements, taken apart and rearranged back into the vast system of nature. The body as a single concept has dissolved.
So this purely physical process, it actually reveals a huge philosophical truth, one that's totally central to Buddhist teachings. The fire doesn't just destroy a body. It reveals the principle of impermanence. This is a core part of what's called the Dhamma, which you can just think of as the fundamental natural law of how things really are.
And get this is not a new idea.